I was absolutely shocked by it. I can remember thinking this is one of the worst accidents that have ever happened, and being scared about it. As a family, we decided to somehow cope with it by planting trees as for a hope for the future, because it felt like this is one of those awful things that we'd foreseen would happen, and that all sorts of other things were also going to happen. So we saw it as a disaster, and it is a disaster, and I was really shocked by the fact that it was, in a way, all the information, the real information about the suffering and the long-term consequences of it were pushed under and out of sight right from the beginning, so that even today we have no clear idea of the real impact of that, and we're not getting pictures or information from local people. I mean, there's projects like the children suffering from leukemia that come in and out of the UK, and some people can pick up a bit of information there. I know around us there's we live in Wales now. There's still sheep that can't be sold because radioactivity is continuing its eternal cycle through the grasses and through the sheep, etc. The legacy of Chernobyl is still with us, and we still have not, as a world community, learnt to deal with it. For instance, Britain is now talking about new nuclear power stations when we have no idea how to deal with the waste. You know, we know that the huge rises in cancer around the world are part of the atomic weapons testing legacy, but also the nuclear power stations, etc. The 25th anniversary, which is next year in 2011, should trigger a huge debate about this, and actually all nuclear power stations, new nuclear power stations, should be stopped. The nuclear legacy should be dealt with as a world community. You know, we need to know where the nuclear wastes are going to be stored, and they should be stored safely and above ground and all the rest of it. And we should know what the implications are around the world. So hopefully the 25th anniversary will be an awakening time for humanity. A lot of young people spend hours and hours and hours on the computer. I don't know whether, you know, it could go up on YouTube, and films and information about it could go in all sorts of forums. I think probably, you know, the more places it is, the better. But also I think events need to be happening around, and local radios need to cover it, local newspapers, because they're not so tightly controlled as the national medias are. In a world where access to information is meant to be so easy, and in a way, if you know how to search the internet or you have the right contacts, you can find out information. But the truth is that the majority of people are not getting the information that they need to know how the world is operating and what's going on in the world. So I suppose our responsibility as people that do know a little bit is to just get out there into the streets, into the schools, into the churches, the trade, everywhere, and actually personally talk about these things, because we cannot rely on the mass media to do it for us.